I'm Corinna. Welcome back to my channel. This is Noah's Ark Nursery. I'm welcoming, if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you to all my subscribers and all my viewers. Today we're going to do something a little different. Today is Toddler Tuesday, and I decided I have been wanting to do a Jeremiah Mommy Me Day, and I think Jeremiah wants a Mommy Me Day too, don't you, baby? Yeah. So we're going to do a little bit of a Jeremiah Mommy Me time today. But I'm going to tell Jeremiah's adoption story really quick. The first thing I'm going to do is read the last part of a verse that was actually given to me the night before. The day before we got Jeremiah, we had a very sad thing happen in this house. We were grieving that night. We had a cockapoo. Isaac, he was 17, and he was almost 17. It's July the 12th, 2020, and we woke up to Isaac not doing very well, and I just knew in my heart that that was it. We had that kind of connection, so I just knew this is the day that God's going to take Isaac. And I said, okay, Lord, he's in your hands today. He said, I want you out of the house. So we left. Isaac passed in his cage because he didn't want me to have the trauma. If you are here for the first time, I'm going to explain why. I have something called DID, and the trauma of that would have brought out one of my alters. I would think it would have brought out Mabel. But I would think Mabel would have been the one to come out. She's the 5-year-old in my head. But Mama Bev might have been the other one to come out just because she didn't want me to be traumatized. So I listened to the Lord and we left. We went to look at puppies that day. Couldn't get into the shelters because the pandemic was still going on. I'm like, we're never getting a puppy. We went to look at a puppy at a pet store. She wouldn't even look at us. I think it was a Shih Tzu. She would not even look at us. So we decided, after we got Isaac buried, we took him down to my in-laws, buried him down there. We got home, we decided, my husband looked at me, he said, I'm not going to work tomorrow. This was a Sunday, he said, I'm not going to work tomorrow. We're going to go, I'm not going back to work until we have a puppy because you can't be alone in the house. You cannot be alone. And Isaac was my life. So I basically told God, you took my life when you took Isaac. And I was sitting after everything was done, and it was time for me to sit when everything had calmed down, when Isaac's cage wasn't where it was, when Isaac's toys weren't in the house anymore, when Isaac wasn't here. I sat back and I just wanted to cry. Before I could do that, God spoke to me. The Lord spoke to me. He spoke to me the last part of this verse, which is Psalm 35, but this is B. This is B, meaning it's just the second part of the verse. He spoke this to me. He said, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And I said, Lord, unless you're bringing Isaac back, there's no way that there's going to be joy tomorrow, because all those shelters want us to wait a week, and it's going to take a long time before tomorrow comes, in the morning, before the morning comes. And he said, no, sorrow is for tonight, but joy shall come in the morning. And in the morning, I went online and I looked at a pet store over in Hanover that had a cockapoo, or at least I thought a cockapoo, because that's what we were going to get, or we were going to get a Havapoo. We didn't know. But they had one puppy left. When I called, I asked, do you have any small dogs left? Because where we live, we cannot have large dogs. Even though we own our home, the park owner is very strict with the size of the animals that you can bring in. So he likes the smaller dogs to be in here. Well, Jeremiah was the last mini poodle puppy left they had. They said he was a mini poodle. I said, okay. I said, can we come over and meet him? And the girl said, of course you can. And my husband was like, are you sure you want to go over there and meet him? I said, yes. Let's give the little guy a chance. He may or may not like us, but we ended up, I mean, we had traffic and we didn't think we were going to make it before, because we didn't reserve him. We just had to go over and meet him. And what if he wasn't there by the time we got there? Because it's a good half hour, 45 minutes from our house. And the traffic was just horrible that day. So we drove over there, and I was like, okay, Lord, we're not going to get over there in time. We got over there. We walked in. We said, do you still have the mini poodle? They said yes. Now, Jeremiah, a week prior to us meeting him, he had a sister, another mini poodle, that was in the cage with him, that was in his cage with him. And she got adopted. They said he really wasn't keen on anybody. He really did not. He was depressed. And I said, is that the mini poodle? And the minute I pointed to his cage, he knew I was pointing to him because he started shaking the cage. You've heard Jeremiah here, and he just gets all excited, and he got all excited. So they took him out, handed him to me first. Went into the little play area, they handed it to me first. And he just loved on me. And I asked him, I said, do you want to go home with us? And he just had so much to say to Mommy. He said, you are my new mommy. I know that. I said, your name is going to be Jeremiah Stephen, which is what his name is. And we put him in my husband's arms. He was the same way. He just loved on both of us. And that's when we decided we're going to get him. I had to do all kinds of transfers through the bank anyway. But, we had a little problem with the card, but that got solved. And as we were paying for him, a woman walked in and said, do you have any small dogs left? We almost missed getting Jeremiah because somebody else came in behind us. But we adopted Jeremiah. It was a very sad day the day before. So on July 13th, 2020, Jeremiah came to live with us. Just so you know, Jeremiah was born on May the 5th, 2020. I call him my little party boy because he is. And so we are going to do a little mommy me time. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to do this. He is actually laying next to me because Jeremiah has wanted some mommy one-on-one time for a while. And he's one of those that he loves attention. It's like Isaac. Isaac used to love my attention too, but he grew out of it after a while. Of course, now there's a lot of noise. So anyway, let's see what Jeremiah wants to get into. I have the TV on, music choice, the 80s music. I'm going to see if Jeremiah wants to dance with me because I would love to dance with my little guy. You think I can get him to dance with me today? I don't know. Jeremiah, you want to dance with Mommy? Or we could just dance. Come here. Let's show everybody how we dance. Come here. Let's show everybody how you and I dance. Come here. Come on. I don't think he wants to dance. I don't think he wants to dance today. I think right now all Jeremiah wants to do is sit. Because he's been barking. But we're spending some mommy quality time together anyway. Even if it means I'm going to love on him today. But I just wanted to tell you guys Jeremiah's adoption story. I've been meaning to do that for a little while and haven't gotten a real chance to. So even though he's not going to want to spend mommy me time today, he is spending mommy me time with Mommy. He just is laying next to me. But this is Jeremiah's idea of mommy me, I think. And but I just wanted to share Jeremiah's adoption story today. And Hannah is sleeping, just to tell you. She is really tired. She usually sleeps good through the night, but then she's up most of the day. And by this time in the afternoon, she's usually pretty tired. And so I have her down for her nap. And Jeremiah is pretty tired too, although I thought this would be the best time to tape because Jeremiah is usually up and moving, but I guess not today. Um, but at least I got to share his adoption story. Why we named him Jeremiah was an interesting story too. I'll tell you that real quick. We named him Jeremiah because we were thinking of names on the way over, and I wanted to name the new puppy. I wanted to name whatever new puppy we got Isaac. My husband said, no, I wanted to name him. I said, well, how about Isaiah? He said, that's too close to Isaac. So I said, well, how about Jeremiah? And my husband's like, that sounds like a good name, Jeremiah. And then I said, what about if we give him a middle name, Jeremiah Stephen? Now, Stephen is my husband's name. And you will be meeting him on Thursday when I do the box opening, because he's going to help me do the box opening. He's going to be here, and he decided to take off work for my birthday, which I thought was really special. But he said, okay, let's name him Jeremiah Stephen. And so that's what his name is. And of course, at first when we brought him home, he learned his name really fast, because he knew what his middle name was. And he, to this day, still thinks that it's Jeremiah Stephen, which it is, but Jeremiah most of the time. It's only Jeremiah Stephen when Jeremiah gets into trouble, which he gets in a lot of trouble. He's very hyper, but I love him. I know he just spent some mommy me time prior to this with me eating lunch. I thought after lunch, after I got lunch cleaned up, after I got his dish washed and washed and my spoon washed, that we could do the mommy me, but I guess he doesn't want to do mommy me right now. He just wants to lay here. He doesn't want to play. He was playing while I was doing stuff, while my phone was plugged in. I thought that he would definitely want to spend some time with me, but apparently not. So sorry, I just had to get a drink. But that is Jeremiah's adoption story. I hope you enjoyed it. It's not very fancy, but to me it's something special, because I lost a special little guy before that. Like I said, Isaac would have been 20 or 17 on July the 20th. And that's a long life for any dog to live. And we got this little guy who has just been a joy, and God was right. When he said, sorrow's for tonight, but joy's going to come in the morning, he was right. Joy came in the morning, because he has been a joy, and we love him, and he is a joy in our home. He's brought a lot of joy that Christmas. I got to say, that Christmas, my husband had remarked how I had more Christmas joy than I had in a long time. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. I have a devotional in the one book that I want to do that I'm going to talk about that maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But even dogs in shelters get depressed when they don't get adopted. When they see people looking at them, they don't get adopted. So if you're out there, and I'm just going to encourage you to do this, and you want a pet, go to a shelter first. We were going to go to a shelter, but they wouldn't. It was really hard because they get depressed. I know Jeremiah was depressed before we got him, but now he's in his forever home, and he loves us, and we love him. Does a lot of snuggling, that's for sure. We do a lot of snuggling in this house, and a lot of kisses and a lot of playtime. Loves to play. But as you can see, I'm going to show you Jeremiah's toys. These toys, if you're in the Lancaster, York area, we get these from a place called Happy Healthy Hounds. This is more than I think. I mean, Isaac had like 3 toy boxes full. Jeremiah, we just let his toys stay all over the living room, as you can see. As you can see, there's a football in the dining room. There's his bunny sitting there, Mr. Bunny from his first Easter. But we get his things from a place called Happy Healthy Hounds. It's a kind of like a kiosk thing now. I don't even think it's a kiosk anymore. I don't know what they call that. What they have now, a booth maybe. It's big. It's bigger than the kiosk used to be. But we get all his toys from there. So I would like to make a great shout out to Mike and his wife because they do a great job at keeping Jeremiah and his toys. The supply chain has hit us hard, but Jeremiah's dealing with it. They have treats but they are online. So if you want to go on Happy Healthy Hounds, I think it's happyhealthyhounds.com. Something like that. I'll have to get that and let you guys know at a later date what that is. I'll ask Mike. He'll tell me. I'll ask Mike, the owner. He'll tell me. And, you can go on there and even get toys and treats for your own. Even if you don't live here in Pennsylvania in the Lancaster, York area, you can still get things from Happy Healthy Hounds because he will ship anywhere. I'm pretty sure about that. I haven't asked him about that yet, but I'm pretty sure. I will ask him this weekend. And Mike, if you're listening, if you're there and you've watched this and I forget to ask you, would you please tell me? And then have your website ready too, so I can give it to these guys so they can maybe, order from you. But I hope you enjoyed our little Jeremiah's adoption story. It was supposed to be about me and him today, so I'm making it about me and him. But also, we can mourn over anything. But it's God who gives us our joy. And God really stepped in and gave me my joy back. I hadn't had a lot of joy up until then. I was in a car accident with Isaac. Isaac was in the car. July 28, 2017, I had a driver run a red light on me. I was injured so badly that for years I did nothing but lay around. And how can I put this? I couldn't do anything. And I know Jeremiah has really wanted some mommy me time because I started doing my housework again. I don't know if it'll be next week or when, but I'm going to tell you what happened to me back at the end of December, which changed everything. I really feel like the Lord wants me to tell you. But Jeremiah's used to me just laying around. But anyhow, he gave me my joy back. Only God can give you your joy. And God did. Yes, he's using this little guy. He has just been a blessing in our lives. And we just love him so much. So we just wanted to take the time to share that with you today. It's a different kind of Toddler Tuesday, I know, because Jeremiah is 2. He was born May 5th, 2020, so that makes him 2. He's 2 years old. And right now he's napping. He's also a very tired little 2-year-old. Because he's been very active today already. Believe me. I've been very busy today with him. So that's all for today. I was kind of hoping Jeremiah would play with me on camera today, but we'll get that another day. I promise one day I will get him to play with me on camera. But until then, I hope you guys have a really blessed day. I will be back tomorrow. I will have Hannah with me tomorrow. So I hope that you have a really blessed and wonderful rest of your Tuesday. If it's nice where you are, enjoy. If you are in Florida, you are in my prayers. Because Ian is about to hit you. And I know that We're supposed to get the remnants up here in Pennsylvania, but not until this weekend. And we don't know how much rain we're going to get. So I've been watching the news very closely. But this is all for today. I hope you guys have a blessed, wonderful day. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye. You're going to say bye, Jeremiah. Jeremiah says bye too. He said, bye-bye, people. I hope you enjoyed my adoption story. Goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.